Copy that. Perimeter secure. 10-4.
The old signal prepper, where wisdom is the key. We're ready for the future, staying ahead and staying free. When the world goes dark, we won't be shedding a tear. We prep with our minds never ruled by fear. It's not the list of preps, it's the knowledge we flex. Gaining understanding, then solving what's next. No sitting by fire, eating squirrels on sticks. We'll be navigating chaos using Sigma Prepper's tricks.
In the chaos of survival, your mind is a shield. When it all goes wrong, it's the wisdom revealed. The tech, the knowledge, the smart preparation. When the crisis comes, we're gonna own the situation. We understand the risks that tomorrow could bring. We adapt and survive, it's a wolf pack thing.
SHTF, we break it down smart. From the big picture view to the detail in the parts. Drew Law's got you, his knowledge on tap. Real-time strategy, he cuts through the crap. From the high IQs to the tech we choose. We're ahead of the game, we never gonna lose. We stay prepared, never needing to fight. Join Sigma Prepper and we'll make it through the night.
It's seeing the signs, reading tomorrow through intelligent minds. Survival's more than just having a plan. It's about how you act when it all hits the fan. Join our Discord where knowledge is prime. The wolf pack's there for you every time. In the chaos of survival, your mind is a shield. When it all goes wrong, it's the wisdom revealed. The tech, the knowledge, the smart preparation. When the crisis comes, we're gonna own the situation. We understand the risks that tomorrow could bring. We adapt and survive, it's a wolf pack thing.
Reject the herd, prepare the pack. We're on a mission, there's no turning back. From crisis to strength, we survive the storm. It's knowing you've been able since the day you were born. Survival's an art, we sharpen the blade. We adapt, we survive, we're not afraid. Get yourself comfy for the Sigma Prepper show. The time is counting down and we're nearly good to go. Prepare your mind, cause intelligence is the key. Owning our instincts, we don't freeze, fight or flee. Knowledge is power, it's the ultimate force. No following the herd, we just create a new course. From a single lone woman to a family of 5. Learn from Sigma Prepper and see how you can thrive.
In the chaos of survival, your mind is a shield. When it all goes wrong, it's the wisdom revealed. The tech, the knowledge, the smart preparation. When the crisis comes, we're gonna own the situation. We understand the risks that tomorrow could bring. We adapt and survive, it's a wolf pack thing.
Reject the herd, prepare the pack. Click the like button, it's as easy as that. Check the description for the links you need. Follow my socials, subscribe to my feeds. Support me on Patreon to gain the edge. Discounts and freebies, just make a pledge. The countdown's done, it's time to go. Sigma Preppers Live, let's start this show.
Yeah, welcome everybody, welcome Wolfpack. Whoa. Check out our location today, super apt with a Milton Hurricane. That's how we're rocking today, so we're doing a special report. I'm your boy Drew, Sigma Prepper. Thank you for joining me, really appreciate it. So we are live 5:30 p.m. on the Eastern Front in Florida. That's about 10:30 p.m. here in the United Kingdom. So, yes, indeed, out in the midst of it in the hurricane, we're going to be following it live with some coverage, some footage. We'll be talking about it. What does it mean? How can we prepare ourselves for future events that could happen to us in our locations? Because there's nothing to say it wouldn't happen to us. And there's a bunch of natural disasters that could be taking place and catching us unawares. So we'll be talking about that as a whole tonight on the show. And of course, as well as that, I'll go through some of the bits and pieces with my new Ultimate Prepping Guide book that I've been writing, because there's a whole bunch of segments in there to do with natural disasters. So we'll have a little check-in on that as well. So we've got a full show lined up. Pretty much, we'll be checking out some mindset quotes. We haven't had too many quotes in. We've had some memes, but it's a little bit thin on that front, so we'll have to get you over to the Discord server so you can start filling it in. And we'll be doing a full global threat analysis as well, covering everything that's going on around the world, including the X-class solar flares that have been hitting us and are due to hit us as well. Sneak peek, we've got purple alert, not red, not orange, but purple for the X-class solar flares. So we've got the main hurricane news with the Milton, which we'll be following and checking out some live CCTV camera footage of the Milton hurricane as it approaches. It's due to hit about 10 p.m, which is in about 4 hours time. We may be doing an extended live show tonight as we just cover, see what it happens, see how it goes as it hits in. So thank you everyone for being with us live in the chat. I do believe it was Sandy was first in the chat. Thoughts and prayers to all of our brothers and sisters across the pond. Absolutely. Did have one of our ultra VIP actually, who isn't anymore. I don't know where he's gone. He's disappeared into the blue yonder, but he lived in Florida, as we have to say. But other than that, we haven't had that many Patreon members anyway, or subscribers really from Florida. So let me know where you are live in the chat if you're in America or wherever you are in the world. So thank you everyone for being with us. Daily Survival, moderator of all moderators in the house with us today. Sandy's one of our moderators as well. Got Robert McNamara. Just to let you know why your wife's aunt and uncle are right in line to get hit. They live in Bradenton. I'm assuming that's Florida somewhere, is it, Robert? So yeah, it turns out as well, Daily Survival also has a brother-in-law who lives in Englewood, sorry. So mum and dad used to live right below Sarasota and Inglewood. So yeah, we've got a few people who've got family who lives there or used to live there, but let us know if you've got anyone that you're watching out for, and we'll be seeing how things are rocking. I've been up and down, to be honest. I was like originally thinking, oh, you know, this is going to be bad news, and then I was thinking, oh, maybe it's not, maybe they're blowing it out of proportion, maybe they're exaggerating and stuff, but we're going to see who's right as the evening goes on, and as we look into what's been going on live with Hurricane Milton over in Florida, headed towards Tampa Bay is where it's headed. So we're going to be checking all of that out and more during the course of the day. But in the meantime, please do do the live vote. We've got a live poll going tonight. So please go and get yourself logged into the Discord server if you're not already on the main Hangout. There's various things going on there, whatever you want to talk about. Got hiccups now, but thank you to our newest joiners of the Discord server. It's completely free. This is our community server for Sigma Prepper. It's where the Wolfpack hangs out. We've got the announcements room here, where every time I do a show, I'll be doing an announcement here like I did with this one. So even if YouTube doesn't send out announcements, you'll get one through Discord nonetheless. And of course, this is where our VIP Wolfpack, the Patreon supporters, where we have our after parties on voice, where we can talk to each other. So we'll be doing that tonight. I'll be taking Hugo Bear for a midnight walk in the woods after we finish our special broadcast tonight for the Hurricane Milton. But yeah, get yourself over. There's loads of rooms in there, including Sigma Quotes and your memes as well. So please get yourself over there and add your memes and your quotes in, and we show them live on the show. This is Hugo Bear, my Boerboel, South African Mastiff. I'll be taking him out later on with the rest of the Wolf Pack on the after party. So if your name is orange in this list here, then you're eligible. If you see these VIP Patreon rooms, then you'll know that you're eligible for that. But all these other rooms are completely open and free for you. Please go and check it out. If you need any of the links, you can find all the links that you'll need to catch up with me and more over on the, well, probably in the link description of this video, but also you'll find them by Daily Survival should put them in. But also on the website there, the Sigma Prepper website, sigmaprepper.com. Go and check it out. Everything you need is in there, including links to things like the Discord community and everything else. So please go and check it out, sigmaprepper.com. Still there waiting for you. But in the meantime, I think what we should do is check out this, kick things off with the Sigma Mindset quotes and see what people have sent in for this week. Sigma Mindset quotes, let's do it. Okie dokie. So, Sigma Mindset quotes, you know how we do. Kick things off just to get ourselves in the right mindset for preparedness. And, of course, this is all about the Sigma Mindset, which is unlike alpha or beta personalities, unlike alphas who like to lead and betas who like to be led. Sigmas tend to just focus on independence, self-reliance, and personal development and stuff like that. So that's what it's all about. So tonight we've got the first quote in by me, Sigma Pepper. You can never leave footprints that last if you're always walking on tiptoe. You can never leave footprints that last if you are always walking on tiptoe. Great one there, coming in from Lema Gabawi. Lema Gabawi. Don't forget, Discord server, links in the description if you want to put your own quotes on there that you like. And if I like it, then I'll show it on the next show as part of our Sigma Quotes section. Next up, we see down the top left, you can see from Daily Survival, one of our moderators. Thank you for this one, my lovely. I like this one. Knowledge isn't power until it is applied. Knowledge isn't power until it is applied. From Dale Carnegie. Dale Carnegie. So thank you so very much. Really appreciate this one, Daily Survival. Miss Worm joining us in the house. Long time no see, my darling. I hope you're all right. About time you got yourself over to Discord and put some quotes in there and some memes in there, I think. Next up then is one from me, because it's been so thin on the ground for people putting their quotes in because they're so scared. Yeah, nothing to be fearful of, right? It's completely free, no obligation, but you must. Sometimes we're tested, not to show our weaknesses, but to discover our strengths. This one again is in from me. Sometimes we're tested, not to show our weaknesses, but to discover our strengths. Coming in from Mike McClure Jr. Allegedly. So don't forget, if you want to see your own quotes read out and inspiring other people around the web, that's how you do it. Please hit the like button if you haven't done already. Add your best quotes today over on the Super Quotes room on the Discord server. Links in the description below. No excuses. Let's get back to the base camp and we'll have a look at the global analysis. Yes, indeed. Do apologise if I'm seeing red bars, by the way, for the streaming health. And I noticed that the current numbers of people following just suddenly dropped off as well. So I hope everybody's internet is okay. I know mine just dropped off momentarily, at least here in the UK where I am. Throws me out constantly, says Miss Worm. Discord. Oh, my darling. I've not heard of that before. So Debbie Sermon in the house as well with us. She's hola amigos, hola amiga. She's in Mexico at the moment on holiday from the UK. So I've been a little bit worried about our darling Debbie. Yes, I have. But she sent me a couple of WhatsApp messages, let me know she's all right. She's what would be considered a friend of the Wolfpack. Part of the Wolfpack herself and friend of the channel. So, yeah, glad to hear everything's all right with you so far, my darling. She's flying out on Friday, I believe. Isn't that right, Debbie, from Mexico? Cancun area. So, yeah, the Hurricane Milton basically came straight past there on the way out to Florida. So, great to see you, Tanette. Good to have you with us. And, right, so what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the SHTF Intel Global Threat Analysis Report, and we'll have a little look and see. To be honest, I could do with updating the SigmaPrepper.com website. You've got the SHTF Intel part here. In fact, you can go to the main page at the top there, SHTF Intel. And I kind of need to update this. I could do with updating this. What do you call it? Oh, sorry, I should be in here. I could do with updating the chart of threats. Totalitarianism is at the top, that will stay at the top, but things like global conflict, riots and civil unrest, food shortages, grid down / blackouts coming towards winter time. Sometimes the grid down and blackouts one gets raised up a little bit. Raise it up. Because you know, if they're going to be doing a grid down scenario, they're going to love to do it in the winter time just to really do people in. So yeah, we've got global conflict may have to go a little bit higher. Obviously, while everything's going on, you can go and check this out anytime. Don't forget SHTF Intel page on SigmaPrepper.com. So go and check that out. It's all there for you. And we'll be getting into a full SHTF Intel report as part of our agenda, this Sigma Prepper Live show. And we'll have a little look-see and see if I can get my thing together. Sorry. And then what we're going to do is, after we've had a little look, we've done the Sigma mindsets, we'll do a bit of a global analysis report. When we come out of that, we'll just have a look at some stuff going on live. So really the global analysis report, we'll just do a bit of what's going on around the world. We'll look at the solar flares as well that's popped off, the X-class solar flares we've had rocking. And like I say, when we come out of that, back to base camp, we'll then have a look at some live CCTV footage going on in Florida and see what's going on over there. So let's get into it then. Let's go for a full-on global analysis report and see what exactly is going on around the world. And let me know if you're getting a bit seasick with our location. dear, just having a gives me 25 seconds to catch up with the chat with our SHTF Intel sequence there. Miss Worm in the house saying that sea background looks. What do you mean background? It's a location. God, anyone would think you're trying to make out I use blue screen or green screen or something like that. That sea background looks so cold, doesn't it? Though that's the whole point. Kaz is seasick already. Well, I'll tell you what. After we've had to part 1, we'll be having a short break. And then when we come back for part 2, we'll have all sorts of other bits and pieces. And we may have a new background. Oh, we may have a new location for our base camp when we come back after the break. But we'll see. Give us a chance to go and get a cup of tea so we can have a proper toast to the wolf pack. Cheers, everyone. I can only toast you with my remnants. We've got Sigma Prepper mugs coming soon as well. Let us know in a chat if that's something you think you might be interested in. It's been a long time coming because of this stupid account creation. Anyway, we're going to have a little look through. We're going to talk about the Milton hurricane briefly, but because we're going to have more of an in-depth thing just generally in the main show once we come out of the main global threat analysis. So we're going to have a little look about what's going on around the world briefly, the typical headlines, and then we'll just go from there and we'll see how things develop. So yes, of course, Hurricane Milton spawns tornadoes and storm surge as it nears Florida. Of course, it's the storm surge that can create more damage, the flooding and things, than the winds itself in some areas. Magic Hand and I, living in Thailand on a small tropical island, we suffered big time in the hurricane we got caught up in with all the flooding, and that was largely due to the storm surge. We were only about 80 meters from the beach, maybe less than that, 50 meters from the beach, right? Maybe like 8 houses back. And I could see our well, the water in our well was coming up, and it wasn't even particularly raining. It was just literally from the pressure and from the water level and the tide coming into full tide at the same time, plus runoff from the mountains and stuff like that. I mean, it got to like, yeah, all of our fish taken out in our fish pond. Proper gnarly. So this is what we got going over on the mainstream. This is what they're talking about as the headlines. Obviously the Hurricane Milton. We've got page open. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Man denies being mysterious inventor of Bitcoin. Talking about Yakamoto, the guy who's supposed to have invented Bitcoin. No one really knows who it is for sure. Couple taken out by Hezbollah rocket fire in northern Israel. Biden and Netanyahu speakers, you know, stuff like that. It's really low on the ground, really, for anything. Floridians flee as destructive Hurricane Milton nears. So we got monument. Yes, have a check at this. Moment extreme turbulence hits Hurricane Milton hunters. Let's see what's going on. Oh, I see in the plane. Extreme turbulence. This will be interesting. Imagine that as a job, going up and flying into thunderstorms on purpose. Yeah. I bet they got some decent seatbelts, do you reckon, or what? Look, he's not even got his on. What they're chatting about. This will be one of them things where on the news and they're just like getting the people to just bounce and bob about, make it look like something's going on. I want to grab my phone real quick. It doesn't look like he's actually got all his seatbelts on, does it? There is stuff going everywhere though. Look at it. What a mess. So yeah, their job is to fly into thunderstorms and take measurements and stuff, which is interesting. So we've got this one here talking about the what's going on at the moment. Check it out. This is from Florida. Milton's arrival, which theoretically is in a few hours' time, and it is officially going to be making landfall. But you can see this means the power's out for these places and all communications as well, which is the big challenge. It's not just the hurricane that's the problem. It's obviously all the cascading effects, such as the power outages, the sanitation issues, the water filtration issues, and so on. Just everything is far from ideal. What can I tell you? So yeah, not a good look, essentially. But like I say, we'll be looking more at it once we've gone through the main global threat analysis throughout the world. We've got to talk about the solar flares and things as well yet. But then we'll come back round and we'll do a full dive into exactly what's going on with the Milton hurricane over in Florida and see what Guam exactly. We'll check out earthquakes as well as part of solar flares and earthquakes. But in terms of what's really going on in the headlines, it looks like it's pretty dominated with the Hurricane Milton. meteorologist becomes emotional giving Hurricane Milton update. I mean, like I say, I wasn't sure about it. It's like I've been watching it and it's, you know, I don't want to call it unimpressive because it's not unimpressive, but it's been a little bit up and down. But it seems to be keeping its. Let's have a look on Windy Look. I've got this running in the background the whole time. So this is tracking its current location, which is here. So it's not quite made landfall yet, but theoretically, the closer it gets to land, the more it should dissipate. Now I'm measuring the eastern stream because theoretically it should be the fastest one. 130. If we go on this side here, look, it's probably 138. It depends which direction it's moving in, you see. Because depending on which way it's turning and which way it's moving will determine which side's going to get the worst. But it doesn't look like it has actually dissipated as much as I thought it may be. Now we are on wind gusts. Let's switch it out and make sure we're looking at wind. Now this is wind, you see. This is what I mean about, it's not particularly impressive. Sustained winds of 40 miles an hour. Did I see a 70 there somewhere? 67, 65. It's bad news, but it's not like tearing your house down business. This is sustained winds, don't forget. And then we've got wind gusts, which is this one where we can see, and it looked like this top edge here as we get in looked a little bit, look, 139. Now, officially, I did dig out the official categories of hurricanes chart here so we can sort of determine where we are. So it's looking category 4, isn't it? You can see above me here. So 131 to 155 if you're on a smartphone and can't read that. 13 to 16 foot. Now that's the storm surge. As I said, that's what caught us out living in Thailand. It was the storm surge combined with the runoff of water. There was just nowhere for it to go. And it had been raining for 3 or 4 days prior, so the ground was already saturated. I'm referring to my own experience with me and the missus living in Thailand in a small tropical island, and it was already challenging living on a small island that relies on getting its supplies. You automatically become a prepper and a survivalist if you're anyone who's done island living. And when I say island, I mean like 13 miles at its biggest diameter point, you know what I mean? So it's like you rely on everything coming from outside, and things like a category 4 or even a category 3 hurricane or a storm is well capable of taking your jetty and your port out to the point where supplies now can't get in, the same way as trees falling down result in supplies not getting in, or medical supplies not getting in or out either to the location once it's been through there. So category 5, we're looking at plus 155 miles an hour in order for it to be considered category 5 level ting. So I don't think we're going to be seeing that, and it should be theoretically getting slower and slower, more and more dissipated. Now I'm not sure if that's supposed to be gusts or I'm not sure if gusts is wind. This is wind gusts, or whether it's sustained. I thought it was sustained winds. We'll find out in a minute. Let me know live in the chat if you know what we're talking about. Do please vote in the live poll as well if you haven't already, and hit the like button. The live poll tonight is we're asking. Let's jump onto the Discord server because I always paste a screenshot of the poll on there for historic purposes. So, which natural disaster scares you more? Hurricanes and tornadoes, epic solar flares, or heat waves and droughts? So let us know your vote live in the chat, as well as what our live vote we got rocking tonight is. That's what we're looking at. But let us know in the chat as well while you're there. After you've hit the like button, all the other things you've got to do, right? Let us know if you know if this wind categorization here is based on sustained winds or wind gust peaks. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how that's categorized, because the only way I get anywhere near 130 miles an hour is by going wind gusts mode here on the left panel. Now I'm pretty familiar with Windy. I've used it for many years, since when it first came out, and it was always been free, even when it first came out. There are some things you can pay to have for features, but the free version is totally fine. So I should be able to go through here and find the things that we want reasonably well. But I did notice, as a caveat, that there seemed to have been quite a few changes on some of these features, so we'll work it out as we go through. But this is the rain accumulation, and so I can drag these sliders down the bottom over time, and we can see where the track has been, essentially. Yeah, but it should start getting less and less, but you're not getting away with it, even if you go wind gusts. To be honest, even 100 miles an hour is definitely going to be taking fence panels down and roofs off and things like that. Should we have a look back on here? Does it say there? So is that category 4? I think it is. Extreme major structural damage and heavy flooding. Evacuation necessary. Hence, all the evacuation going out on the basis of this Hurricane Milton. And we'll see some footage as well later in the show looking at how people have been struggling to evacuate. It's not easy when everybody has the same idea at the same time and everybody needs to go one way, which is north, pretty much. However, theoretically, all you need to do is go inland, kind of like, 50 miles or something, 30 miles, and you should be out of the worst of it. But of course, everyone's doing the same thing. So the availability on hotels, Airbnbs is a joke. You've got price gouging going on with flights out of there as well. Plus, flights are being cancelled left, right and centre because as the weather goes up and down, right? So sustained winds of 74 plus extra strong gusts according to the Met Office. Category 5 for P. Diddy party goers. What's your preference? Innit? Sustained. I was thinking it was sustained as well. You got to vote live in the chat, girlfriend. Not say it out loud. Well, you can say it out loud. You can do anything you want, my darling. Don't let me tell you what you can and can't do. Oh dear. It's Happy Limpet in the house. And Chaos. Great to see you all. Thank you for being with us. I really appreciate you all, my darlings. What a wolf pack we've got here, eh? I've got a bunch of cool videos as well on the cusp, on the editing floor. We've got the rest of the wild camp that I did. I've got one of the videos, link description below if you haven't seen it. My new updated electric USB water pump powered automatic filtration system, the ultimate Sigma Prepper water filtration system. So I got to do a video. There's a video linked in the description below. But I've got one with my PIR motion sensor, wild camping, bug out location, motion sensor security device thing that I use. I've got a video I need to cut together of that. I've got another thing I'm modifying and DIYing, which is a new battery charge system as well for wild camping. Plus some changes I'm making on the solar panel system that I trialed on my last wild camp. So please do catch up on my latest videos if you haven't seen them, because there's going to be a bunch of more coming out and it'll be good for you to have the context. So where have you been for over 30 years, Tonnet? I didn't think you were in Florida or anything. Friend of mine in Florida says it cost her $1,200 to put up her storm shutters. Yeah, crazy. I'd always assumed they were part of the house as they got so many storms there. I just found out my brother-in-law went to Fort Lauderdale to wait out a storm. I'm not sure how far away Fort Lauderdale is from where it's going to be hitting, Robert. We'll have to pull a map up. Of course, we've got windy there, but I'm not sure if I'm going to find Fort Lauderdale. I'm pretty sure it was northwest of Florida, but I don't think it's that far away, is it? I'm just going to be looking around that area randomly, and I could be completely wrong. I'm not sure how far north Fort Lauderdale is, if it's north at all. I mean, you could go south, but then you're kind of risking moving into it, right? That's the problem. So it looks like it's heading far more... I'm not sure where this is predicting it's going to go. This now goes beyond the time that it is now, because this is 2 hours ahead of where we are now. And it's reckoning it's... But when you look at the track, it's going far more north. Once it starts predicting, look, it goes off to the east. It just does a So this is what I'm saying, I just don't think that's what it's going to do. And if it carries on north, it's going to spend more time in the water, which could mean that it's going to gather even more intensity because of the water here is quite warm. We should be able to see sea temperature. Look at this. This is 26 degrees, man. So you can see here, 26 degree temperature. Is that sea temperature though? Wet bulb temperatures, 25. Look, I mean, that's pretty warm for sea. That's pretty warm for sea levels, right? So the thing is that all the time this thing spends its time in the sea, of which it will spend more time in the sea going north than it will going east, is where it's going to intensify more. That warm water acts as energy. Yeah. Because the hotter you got, the more differentiation between that and the cooler. That's where you get the pressure differential, where heat tries to rush to the cool. Yeah. And the cool rushes to the heat, depending on how you look at it. From whose perspective? So, tonight's in the middle of Kentucky. Thanks, my darling. A friend in Florida opted to try polycarbonate covers for her windows. Do you know what, Tonette? You can actually get 3M shatterproof, bomb-proof film, basically, that goes over your windows as a protective thing. It's like a laminate. But I just don't think it's going to quite handle what we're talking about with like hundreds of, plus 100 miles an hour. Because it's just the... And I've got a video that we'll look at that kind of highlights that. But where it looks at kind of people's... is where things get used as projectiles is the issue, right? So this is a video from a guy who's looking around. Now don't forget we had Hurricane Helene not that long ago. So a lot of these people you'll find they're already still recovering from the last hurricane and floods and stuff, right? So all this furniture is outside these people's houses because it's all needing to go to the tip, to the dump, right? Because it's all had sewage water, this is the problem. The flooding, the water flooding isn't just water, clean spring water. It's like sewage, oil, gasoline, mud, dirt, you name it. It's in that mixture soup. So if it goes in your house and over your furniture, you are advised that it's time to bin it because it's just going to be absolutely full of nasty stuff. So, but the problem is that in the scenario like this, where you've got all this furniture and debris just hanging around outside your house, right? You can imagine what the wind's going to do when it picks that up and starts throwing it around, right? Your 3M, any 3M, or to be honest, even polycarbonate coverings on your windows just isn't going to cut it. Is lit just not going to cut it, right? Because when you got something like a piece of a table leg traveling 120 mile an hour, it's going to go through, right? Basically. So just north of Miami. Southeast, okay. I want the laminate for my back patio door for security, yeah. Yeah, I've got big double glazed windows on the front of my studio here. Which I'd always thought about putting the 3M shatterproof covering. It's not even shatterproof, it's the same stuff they use on bank windows and stuff, yeah, for banks and buildings like that. So it should work really good, but I'm thinking you have to actually take the window, laminate it, and the frame double glazing window keeps the seals, the laminate in place, yeah. Do you know, I've often thought exactly the same thing for exactly the same reason, Chaos, and what he's saying is that if you don't have that film tucked in under the beading's the thing that clips in the window, if the film doesn't extend beyond that, then obviously any force pushing on it's not gonna thing. But the way it kind of works, you can get away with it, because the way it works is if something hits in the middle of the glass, or even on the outside, to be honest, that film will just dissipate that energy across a far greater surface area of your glass, which is what stops it from smashing, right? Plus, on top of the fact, if and when it does smash, it will act as a laminate, keeping it in place with it stuck on, right? But yeah, I've thought the same thing. Ideally, for best results, you'd want to take the glass out and you'd want the film to go all the way to the ends of the glass unit, the double glazed unit, and then pop that back in and clip your beading back in on your glass. Let me know if that's what you're talking about, Chaos, because if it is, I've considered exactly the same thing, as you've probably just figured out. But let me know if that's what you're talking about. All the wildlife, isn't it, Kaz? I'll tell you what, I think about that a lot. And there was a lot of very upsetting videos I watched earlier today and yesterday of people having to make really difficult decisions, who own little small farms and things, who have got like goats and cows, and there was one property that were trying to find how they could get all the animals in the house. They weren't going to evacuate, they didn't want to leave their animals, but there was a couple of horses. They had 3 horses and 2 donkeys, and they were saying that essentially they couldn't see any alternative but to let them loose, as in not try and put, they had considered putting them in the barn, but apparently putting horses in the barn is not a good idea because of, like I say, the debris and everything that's going on, and they go kind of crazy. Horses actually, it turns out, are better off being left free, almost like in the wild, and they kind of figure themselves out, you know, they'll find cover based on their instinct or something. But it's a really difficult one. Can you imagine that? They've got little baby calf cows, baby calf cows that they've got, and they're going to keep them in the house. They've like made a makeshift area in the garage for the calves to go, the cow calves. It's just, yeah, like you say, the wildlife. I mean, birds you would hope have got out of there. There was another thing I saw as well, actually, Kaza, to do with the animals and things, where there seems to be these, I forget what they're called, rook-looking birds that seem to be acting quite strangely. And you can see here as well, there's a video here showing the gridlock traffic, referring back to Robert there, talking about his son, was it, or one of his family members getting out of Tampa, getting out of Florida. I mean, it's pretty... This is the problem, you know, by the time the evacuation things come out, to be honest, you're already too late to have made your move, yeah? This is the problem. Let's see if we can find... I'm sure there was another one I had here somewhere. Oh, this is well freaky. Check this one out. We're going to have the tunes on for this. Hold on. Let's just pause it. This is like something out of The Purge, if you ask me, right? Check this out. You ready?
Personal safety. If you choose not to evacuate, you do so at your own risk. Once the weather conditions deteriorate and flooding conditions begin, officers may not be able to help you leave your home. We strongly recommend that you follow the current evacuation order for your personal safety.
We have now officially declared martial law. I mean, there's just something creepy. There's something creepy about that cop car going around with a speaker tannoy system going. Let me know if you're feeling the creepy vibes from the just something the Purge vibes from that cop car going around doing that. At least the film will buy us more time, says Tanet. Yeah, I totally agree. And if I had the budget, believe me, I'd already have done, like I say, the windows on this studio are a big floor-to-ceiling, double glazed things all the way across. So they could do with having it straight away. To be honest, the other thing as well, Tanet, I'd like to have a version that also acts as like a infrared filter, because it's like a greenhouse in here in the summer with the sun blasting through it. So I would double that up to have the 3M blast film covering, protective covering, maybe, and some sort of a infrared reflective kind of coating, like a tint or something. So Robert's saying he's been shark fishing 19 miles off Sarasota. It was 60 foot deep, 76 foot deep. That's exactly what I was thinking about. Just lazy, as I know double glazing windows are heavy, and also want to laminate both sides. And yeah, absolutely. If the inside pane is not laminated, yeah, but you'll be surprised how that film works. But yeah, for best results, clearly that's got to be the way to do it, Chaos. I'm totally with you on that one. I know this area very well. I go to the Tampa Bay area every couple of years, says Robert. Interesting. Would you be worried, Robert, if you were living in Tampa, Florida, or anywhere around that area? Let us know how you'd feel about that. Robot dog probably driving that cop car, says Daily Survival, innit? Innit? In a couple of years it will. It wouldn't even be driving a police car, Daily. They would be sending the robot dogs out, knocking on doors and like scanning their irises like proper Minority Report styley. Yeah, seeing who's stuck there or not. Yes, I have thermodrapes because it's our western exposure and terrible in the summer. Okay, thermodrapes. Like it. Daily Survival there grew up half her life in Inglewood. I'll tell you what, it's also the whole it's the destruction afterwards and just what it takes to rebuild a town, right? I mean, I had some horrific footage that I saw of the Hurricane Helene, right? Which showed it showed like a before and after kind of thing of the destruction. It was like a satellite image showing before and after, which seemingly I don't have here. I may get it for you after the break actually, because it's worth seeing. It's that UV filter most high-end cars have. It's stranded. You can literally feel the heat from the sunlight decline drastically when you close the window. Yeah, something like that would be good. But again, epic sheets, man, epic sheets. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little blast through because we've got loads of stuff to get through tonight for the show. So we'll come back to the windy map a bit later on in the show, where we're going to be following this as it goes for as long as it takes. We want to keep ourselves updated. You can follow along as we blast through the time zones. So what we need to have a do now is I'd like to have a look at the earthquakes, because look, I've only just noticed this just a few minutes ago when I was looking through. 51 earthquakes on the map right now. But it doesn't look like there's anything majorly away from what we'd normally see. So there must be a cluster somewhere. I need to try and find it. So this is 13 out of them. Now, just for those that don't know, the average number of earthquakes we would normally see is about 30 over a 24-hour period, up to an M2.5 and above. It looks like it's here. Look, maybe there's 13 of those quakes just in this one area of Puerto Rico, which I've talked about quite a lot. Over the last year particularly, they've been bubbling up. Just seeing if there's any other. How is there 7 there? Is there loads on here? Oh, look, here we go. There's another culprit, look. So there's 4 there. I'll tell you, these are interesting, but they're not anything major. So it looks like Puerto Rico, a bit of a flurry. Got that one there as well, so that's giving us a bit more than normal. But 51 earthquakes is a few more than we expect to see around the world over a 24-hour period. So so let's have a look at the solar flares then. Keen to check this out because we have got purple alert for solar flares. Purple, look. Boom. Geomagnetic forecast 8 G4, which is purple, not red. So we're next level, and it's this. There was actually more than this. They've just dropped some off, but X-class solar flares, there was about 4 on there. We'll have a look on the main X-ray flux chart, which shows as these come in, look. And this was the one I referred to on the last live I did. And it's a very long, sustained X-class solar flare. Now, this wasn't particularly Earth-facing. This came off sunspot 3844 here, but it was not quite as far around as that at the time that it popped off the sun. But we've also had an interesting X-class solar flare. The one that's sort of noteworthy today is that one in the middle, just above the equatorial region, the 3848 sunspot region. You can see here, active region 3848 was the X1.8 solar flare. And this is somewhat Earth-facing, right? It might shoot off a bit high, but we haven't seen the results of that being predicted coming in yet. We can look at that over here on the Space Weather Prediction Center. And the way I have this laid out here will give us all the rundown, everything we need. Now, this one here is the Enlil spiral. This is showing what's kicking off the sun, and you can see it has registered this spike here, but this is the one from before. So this doesn't include the newest ones. And you can see here on the 11th is basically when this is anticipated to arrive at Earth. Now you'll see here we're up to about 800, about 750 or so kilometers a second radial velocity. Now that's not amazingly, it's not amazingly high, but it's getting there. We need to be up about 1500, 1200, 1500 kilometers a second plasma speed really to be doing anything of any importance. But you can see on the top left there, it does look like it's a black, level that just grazes the underneath of the green dot, which is Earth. Looking at the top left circle up there. So it's not a nothing, but you can see these are going wildly off. But this is the important one, look. So this is the interference to wireless communications, right, like ham radios and things. And so this graph above me is showing the different frequencies in megahertz down the left hand side, right? And so this decibel is kind of like how much noise is on that frequency. And so if this is full on noise on that frequency of 35, for example, anyone trying to tune in to 35 megahertz anything, all you're going to hear is like, yeah. So check it out. Nearly all of those frequencies halfway down are completely unusable at the moment while this is coming in. Right? This is happening now. This is like, yeah, it's not going away. So that's what we got going on with the sun. It's definitely kicking itself a little, you know, having a little epi. So Tonette there, the husband's oldest brother is in Tampa. I think he left. Much more family in Jacksonville on the opposite coast, all prepped. Yeah, but I don't think it's going to make it all the way across and out the other side. It usually doesn't, once it hits land, it usually starts losing its energy and stuff. I'd be scared for my family. Their safety would be my first priority, yeah. That map is outdated. Look at the Gal Peters projection. Which map are we chatting about, Happy Limpet? Which map we're talking about? Are those numbers based on the number of sunspot order of occurrence? So since they have been monitoring, they have seen 3,852 active regions or sunspots. Yeah, that's how that would be how I'm reading it, Chaos. I think that would be a fair understanding of the numbering system of sunspots. Yeah. So Chaos is referring to these numbers here, active region 3852 and so on. And as a new active region or sunspot comes around the disk from the left-hand side around and exiting on the right-hand side, they are given names as they enter. But you know, the thing is as well, and I've watched this happen, is when the same sunspot goes around that may have been an active region and it goes around the sun and comes back, they give it a new number again, so it doesn't continue its old number, even though it's the same sunspot that went round. It's about 28 days for the sun to do a rotation itself, a full rotation, about 28 days, about 13 degrees per day. So, just so you know. That's basically what we're talking about. So usually we'd have a little, we'll have a quick look and just see what the prices of stuff are doing, but we won't labour on it. It'll be super quick, and then we'll get on to the live cameras and stuff going on with the storm and catch up what's going on there. So in terms of the crypto sheets, then we're looking at about 60 bags of sand. Not really doing too much. 2.13 trillion on the overall market cap. Ethereum down again to 2,374 buckaroonies. In terms of gold, 2,600 is essentially what we're looking at for gold this week so far. It usually dumps down on the Friday, but we'll see what it does. When we look at it over the year, it's still going to be good 40%. It is as well, 40% gains on the year. And a similar story for silver, although silver looks like it's taken a hit this week as well. But evened up its gains to gold over the year, 40% gains on the year. And on the last week, we've seen, again, a decline of 4%. So gold and silver down this week, but overall up big time over the year compared to any other asset you could be holding. If you're just joining us, please do hit the like button. Please do vote in the live poll as well. We've got running tonight. The live poll tonight is: which natural disaster scares you more? Hurricanes and tornadoes, epic solar flares, or heat waves and droughts? So let us know. We've got a live vote going in the chat tonight. So please take advantage of that and get involved. And let us know what you're up to as well live in the chat. Santa's feeling it, says Sandy. Tonette in the house. They are expecting it to still be quite a storm on the east coast of Florida. It is narrow. Yeah, we'll see how it develops as it hits in. This could explain why 3G phones are taking a hit and why these network in pants at the moment. Are you having pants issues yourself? Do you know what? I've had some real bad issues getting just browser windows to load, and do you know what I found today? It's become unusable. Today I deactivated my AVG firewall and everything's working fine. So I think there's been an AVG update, yeah, and antivirus and firewall particularly, that seems to be really slowing stuff down. This is why I can't use a VPN. It's just so slow for the type of work I'm doing with media creation and content all the time. You can't be running every single HTTP request through a VPN server. Just forget about it. So they could have the same sunspot. Yeah, it get too confusing. You'd have to be watching the backside as it comes around as well. So let's check out some good news stories, and then we're going to bust out of here. And because I've got a bunch of live footage that we've been checking. I've been tracking in the background that we'll be watching together. So we'll be able to figure out how things are going, and we can basically already see how oops, it's just talking of which, it's just decided to stall, but we can see how the waves are just starting to lap up onto these platforms here. That was running live until just literally 2 seconds before I hit go. That one's still running live. Look, it's just checking it in as it's incoming. This is the Marina Dock, Madeira Beach. So we'll have to check and see exactly where that is. So I've got a couple of live cams opened up ready, and we've been watching to see how things are going on. You've got the one at the bridge here, Hurricane Milton, the South Tower. Doesn't look like the sort of bridge you're going to want to be going across now, and this is the problem, like I was saying. By the time you've got the order to evacuate, it's kind of already too late because everybody's doing the same thing, right? Chaos, they're having some VPN issues. It's all going on, isn't it? So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to check out a good news story or two, and then we'll head back to the base camp, and we'll try and avoid getting seasick, Kaza. If you're still awake with us, I don't know what your availability is tonight. So got some good news stories here. Hero dog saves elderly owner by alerting police and leading deputy to cabin. A 13-year-old dog named Geeta saved her owner's life, demonstrating incredible loyalty and bravery of man's best friend. Man being human kind, not man as in men. Just so you know. Just in case you're Justine Trudeau. We like to say people kind, not mankind. It's like, no, Justine, you're not getting it. Mankind is just simply short for humankind. Anyway, on September 25th, Deputy Wright of the Stevens County Sheriff's Office was patrolling a rural wooded area when he spotted a lone dog sitting in the middle of the road. With no houses visible nearby, Wright attempted to coax the dog into his vehicle to search for its owner. However, the dog refused, indicating something more serious might be at play. After checking nearby residences with no luck, Wright returned to the road where the dog had now positioned himself directly on the centre line. When he tried to get her to move, the dog Geeta suddenly ran up unmarked little-used road. Sensing this was more than a coincidence, Wright decided to follow her, and his intuition proved right. Geeta led him to a small summer cabin. It was there, not far from the cabin, that Wright discovered an 84-year-old man lying on the ground, calling for help! Help! The elderly man had fallen hours earlier, injured his leg and was unable to move. Compounding his situation, he had other medical conditions requiring regular medication, and without intervention, his condition could have worsened. So how cool is that? So thank you to Geeta, the cute little doggy here who saved its owner's life by getting the attention of a police officer. And he's saved to live another day to take his doggy for a walk. Talking of doggies, it seems to be doggy theme for the good news stories today. And of course, this is Hurricane Helene, we talked about earlier. Rescue crews saved dog trapped 20 feet up a tree after Hurricane Helene floods. Check it out, look. A little Staffy by looks of it. Staffordshire Bull Terrier, is it? In the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, crews performing rescues in West Tennessee stumbled across a dog trapped 20 feet high in a tree. Swept away by floodwaters, bless it. The dog, Athena, had miraculously survived after being separated from her owners during the chaotic storm. Look at that. TJ and Ali, Athena's owners, had rushed to get their children to safety at their parents' house as floodwaters rose around their home. When they tried to return for their beloved dog and belongings, they realised it was too late. Always is. A bunch of debris pushed up against my front porch. It just collapsed my front porch. When it did that, it just pushed my house and it floated away. It floated like an ark. Bless his cotton socks, look. We had a dog very similar looking to that, actually, called Blue. Heartbroken, the Faulkners were certain they would never see their dog again. Days later, however, during a search and rescue operation, hope was unexpectedly restored. K9 unit. Bless his cotton little socks. Yeah, it must have been absolutely, you know, who in its you know what. Looks, I was going to say, looks a bit like one of our VIP's dogs, Zeus. Dogs are definitely amazing. Kaz is still here. She's just checking in. I can see my dog. Oh dear, that's one very good boy. It's much too late to evacuate. 2 hours till landfall. Time to shelter in place. Is it officially 2 hours till landfall now? Is it daily survival? Can you get us an idea of when it's supposed to be hitting landfall? Because we're going to be streaming, watching all sorts of live cams and stuff. Basically, as long as we can go. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump out of here back to the show, and we're going to get to our base camp, and we'll talk about some bits and pieces. We might be doing a break as well at some point soon, because we've been going nearly an hour, so we are due. And my tea is definitely due. Drew is due a new brew. Talking of which, I've got a new, as well as the new intro sequence, there's a bit of channel news here, as well as the new intro sequence countdown timer for the live show to get people, allow people time to get their notifications and get settled in, and allow me time to make sure everything's all rocking before we go live, right? And I even though I produced my own music, I'd used a backing track which I paid for, and every time without fail it gets a copyright strike, and even though I own the license for it, I still have to go through the process of submitting the license. Yes, I own it. Yes, it's there. Yeah, and then it clears it. So I produced a new countdown timer tune where I wrote the words and stuff for Sigma Prepper, and I've just made a new one now so that we can do break time, right? And it means that we can do extended live shows, so I've got time where I can nip to the kitchen, make a cup of tea, I can get a few other browser windows and other cameras and things like that set up if I need to in the break. So we've got the option to do that now, and I just spent the last 3 days writing that tune. So I've been writing music all week and a bit of last week as well for this show, even though I'm supposed to be finishing my Ultimate Prepping Guide book, which is already 310 pages in or something, and there's probably about another 30 pages left to write. Oh, so that's what we got rocking there. But anyway, so don't go anywhere, because we're just going to get ourselves back to the main show, and we've got loads more coming up. Don't do anything, don't go anywhere. Hit the like button though. Thank you. Whoa. We're back to the hurricane. We're back to the hurricane scene. Back out to sea we go, isn't it? We're following currently exactly where Hurricane Milton is. So wherever Hurricane Milton is, we're just travelling along with it, basically. So it looks like we're still out at sea at the moment. And we can confirm that as well with the... I was going to close all those windows down, but we won't close all those windows down because I think we'll keep open. We'll keep open a couple, including the windy one, since we've already got it all set up the way we like. Oops. So here we go here. Look, we'll do a quick refresh of the windy map, because we'll be referring back to that as well as the live videos. You can see now, look, we are properly on the cusp. And this does actually look like it's not going to be good at all. Having gusts that are doing like 130 mile an hour, as I just saw there, 120. But I don't see that it's a category 5 or 4 or anything like that, because when you look at just normal wind, don't forget it has to be sustained winds, right? You're talking 70 mile an hour, right? So that's not any category of anything. Yeah, that's not even category 1. Yeah, so there's no good us looking at gusts when really it's for a category where it's got to be sustained winds. I mean, it's all very well having gusts that are like 130 mile an hour, category 4 sort of levels, but so this is where we are. Let's try and drag that to, so this is local time. Is this local to them or local to us? Who knows? Oh dear, but when you first load it in, it basically shows where it is right now, which is basically saying 11 o'clock, which is about half an hour ago, the latest update. So it's looking good. We'll keep our eye on it, and we've got lots of stuff to show coming up as well. Thank you so very much, Daily Survival. Keep the links flowing. It's a category 3. It looks like Englewood Beach will get the brunt of the storm surge. That's the main thing we got to watch out is for the storm surge. Although the wind might not be too epic, it's still going to be epic. But it's the storm surge and the flooding that's going to be the major problem, and the waves as well coming in. So we've got a bunch of stuff coming up. We will have a few things that we'll talk about. I've got a few bits and pieces. We won't be doing a quiz, not today anyway. But we will be cutting back into the SHTF Intel reports as well throughout our stream. We've been streaming for exactly an hour now, an hour and 3 minutes. I am noticing the stream connection going a little bit orange and thing now and again. Nothing like it would be if we were in Florida right now. Are there any other tornadoes that have touched down? Yes, loads. It's actually sparked off a whole bunch of them that have ended up... there's a crazy water spout one that I found that I saw today. Check this one out. Look, this is crazy. It's absolutely amazing. It almost doesn't look real. Yeah, it almost looks like some AI generated water spout, but it's not. It's lit. Yeah. And it's the fact you've got those blue skies in the background as well is a bit weird, and then you just got this water spout just sticking out of the clouds coming straight down into the water. And you see it going up into the sky. Look, there's a bit in here, I think, where it goes. Look, can we see that at the very top? Look, it's just amazing. Isn't the nature crazy, right? So yeah, there's all sorts of tornadoes and water spouts popping off as a result of what's going on, and we're going to be checking in on the main CCTV cameras from around the way and seeing how things are developing as it goes. You can see here already, this is Englewood. This one here is Englewood, yeah. It's just the stream seems to be struggling quite a lot. It's kind of like stopping and starting, right? So I think they're having some ish, but you can see this is, the water's already come way above the platform here. But yeah, this is Gasparilla Marina live stream, Englewood, Placida, Florida, Gulf Coast, right? So fuel dock cameras. So this is where marine gas is, where they pick up their gasoline. But like I say, these cameras are going to start going down one by one as things get worse, no doubt. So don't go anywhere. We're going to have a short break. I'm going to be testing out my new break time sequence, which I've put together so that we can carry on with our stream. We can follow what's going on as it happens live. And so don't go anywhere, because we certainly won't be. I hope everyone's internet's going to stay rocking, please hit the like button if you haven't done already. And listen out for the new break time tune as well as the countdown tune. You got a lot of words to songs to learn as the Wolfpack anthems that we're rocking out with. So we're going to be doing that. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Just going to get myself a new brew. When we come back, we'll have a good old toast. And we'll get down and dirty into it, and with some videos I've got to show you, plus some CCTV, live footage of the Milton hurricane in Florida, Tampa, places like that. We'll be keeping track of it and seeing what's going on. So don't go anywhere, because I'm not, but get yourself a refreshment, and we'll be carrying on with the show. So don't go anywhere. Be about 5 minutes. Thank you everyone for great part one. What a wonderful bunch you are. Love, peace and progress to the pack. But don't go anywhere. Just a short break. Check out the new tunes.
Radio check. Roger, copy that. Perimeter secure. 10-4.
Welcome to the last show, True is on a break. Just a few minutes is all it's gonna take. But don't tune out, cause there's plenty yet to come. Get yourself a drink, cause we barely just begun. Wait for Sigma Prepper, he'll be back in a few. If you're joining us now, time to pull up a pew. Reject the herd, prepare the pack. Just a couple more minutes and he'll be back. In the chaos of survival, your mind is your shield. When it all goes wrong, it's the wisdom revealed. The tech, the knowledge, the smart preparation. When the crisis comes, we're gonna own the situation. We understand the risks that tomorrow could bring. We adapt and survive, it's a Wolfpack thing. When crisis hits, Sigma Preppers ahead. The Wolfpack leads with a clear-minded head. No panic, no fear, no beg, no crawl. It's more than just survival, we'll be rising tall. This isn't just preparing, it's thinking through a skill. It's seeing the future, knowing this is not a drill. We don't know where or when disaster will strike, but we know we'll be ready when it's time to fight. In the chaos of survival, your mind is your shield. When it all goes wrong, it's the wisdom revealed. The tech, the knowledge, the smart preparation. When the crisis comes, we're gonna own the situation. We understand the risks that tomorrow could bring. We adapt and survive, it's a Wolfpack thing. Use your time wisely, not sure how long we've got. Maybe 2 years, maybe seconds to plan and plot. Too many threats to know which it could be. It could happen right now while Drew's making tea. Learn about prepping, it can happen any day. The Wolfpack house come lead the way. The time ticks down, so get ready with your brew. Like, share, subscribe, come on, you know what to do. In the chaos of survival, your mind is your shield. When it all goes wrong, it's the wisdom revealed. The tech, the knowledge, the smart preparation. When the crisis comes, we're gonna own the situation. We understand the risks that tomorrow could bring. We adapt and survive, it's a Wolfpack thing. Wisdom is the key. We're ready for the future, staying ahead and staying free. When the world goes dark, we won't be shedding a tear. We prep with our minds never ruled by fear. It's not the list of preps, it's the knowledge we flex. Gaining understanding, then solving what's next. No sitting by fire, eating squirrels on sticks. We'll be navigating chaos using Sigma Prepper's tricks.
In the chaos of survival, your mind is a shield. When it all goes wrong, it's the wisdom revealed. The tech, the knowledge, the smart preparation. When the crisis comes, we're gonna own the situation. We understand the risks that tomorrow could bring. We adapt and survive, it's a Wolfpack thing.
SHTF, we break it down smart from the big picture. picture view to the detail in the box. Drew Law's got you, his knowledge on tap. Real-time strategy, he cuts through the crap. From the high IQs to the tech we choose, we're ahead of the game. We never gonna lose, we stay prepared, never needing to fight. Join Sigma Prepper and we'll make it through the night.
Preparation's not fear, it's seeing the signs. Reading tomorrow through intelligent minds. Survival's more than just having a plan. It's about how you act when it all hits the fan. Join our Discord where knowledge is prime. The wolf pack's there for you every time. In the chaos of survival, your mind is a shield. When it all goes wrong, it's the wisdom revealed. The tech, the knowledge, the smart preparation. When the crisis comes, we're gonna own the situation. We understand the risks that tomorrow could bring. We adapt and survive, it's a wolf pack thing.
Reject the herd, prepare the pack. We're on a mission, there's no turning back. From crisis to strength, we survive the storm. It's knowing you've been able since the day you were born. Survival's an art, we sharpen the blade. We adapt, we survive, we're not afraid. Get yourself comfy for the Sigma Prepper show. The time is counting down and we're nearly good to go. Prepare your mind, cause intelligence is the key. Owning our instincts, we don't freeze, fight or flee. Knowledge is power, it's the ultimate force. No following the herd, we just create a new course. From a single lone woman to a family of 5. Learn from Sigma Prepper and see how you can thrive.
In the chaos of survival, your mind is a shield. When it all goes wrong, it's the wisdom revealed. The tech, the knowledge, the smart preparation. When the crisis comes, we're gonna own the situation. We understand the risks that tomorrow could bring. We adapt and survive, it's a wolf pack thing.
Reject the herd, prepare the pack. Click the like button, it's as easy as that. Check the description for the links you need. Follow my socials, subscribe to my feed. Support me on Patreon to gain the edge. Discounts and freebies, just make a pledge. The countdown's done, it's time to go. Sigma Preppers Live, let's start this show.
Oh, we were going to change the background. Oh dear, welcome back from our break. Got myself a new brew with your host, Drew, here on the Sigma Prepper channel. Thank you very much. We're checking out the Hurricane Milton approaching Florida coast, and yeah, we got all our main crew and Wolfpack here with us live in the house. Daily Survival moderators. Kazza's loving the tunes. Daily Survival's loving the tunes, and Tonette's loving the tunes. So thank you so very much. Time well spent, but at least it means we can have a break and I can get myself a brew and we can carry on and see what's going on. However, I do need to take Hugo Bear out for a doggy walk tonight. So like I say, we will be doing that as part of an after party, I think we'll do. And I'll just take Hugo for a midnight walk in the woods. It'll be past midnight. What is it now? It's about 1:45. So we'll be about a midnight walk in the woods. So if you'd like to join along with us, and if you can see these VIP voice chat area, then that's where I'll be. And I'll just take Hugo out for a nice little rock and roll is the idea. So thank you all for being with us. It doesn't look like YouTube's allowing this video to go out to anyone today. So yeah, thank you YouTube for that. And I was just trying to pull in some other live webcams as well. But one thing I wanted to do, as well as try and get these CCTV live cams running, a lot of these don't seem to be working. We'll see if we can find some new sources. So you got Fox 13, Tampa Baylor's got all the bunch of live webcams we can choose from. Riverviews, check this one out. See if we can get one of these rocking. Let me know if you're getting seasick, Kazza. Tampa Sky Tower. Got a 6-hour time lapse going on here, look. They need a little windscreen wiper on their camera, ideally. Just going to see if we could... I think we should change the... Let's check out... I didn't see the one that went across the highway. I'll tell you what we need to do, though. For Kaza and anyone else, I think we need to... If it's making you seasick, I think we should get something a little bit less seasicky. Maybe we can run with the car on fire, gnarly background environment, yeah? How about that? I'm so sick. I'm holding a sick bag. Is that bad? Well, how about now? Is it better with just a burnt out car? Yeah. Burnt out car it is, my darling. So I'm going to do a quick refresh on windy.com. We're going to see. But I tell you what we need to do. We need to do a big cheers as well, first of all, don't we? Cheers, everybody. Welcome, Wolfpack. Cheers to all of you. Thank you for being part of this. Thank you for sharing this time with me while we check out people who are less fortunate around the world, going through all sorts of crises. We wish them all the love, peace and progress that the pack can possibly wish them. Cheers, everybody. Yummy. Please don't forget to vote live in the poll tonight. The live poll we've got rocking, you'll see in the live chat. This is how it's looking. Which natural disaster scares you more? Hurricanes and tornadoes, epic solar flares, or heat waves and droughts? So far we've had a fair old couple of 20 votes in, and it's reasonably tight. So make your vote count. Thank you, says Kaza. She's saying now it looks like more like we're in London. Look with a burnt out car, isn't it? Nicely done. That's actually very funny. Assuming that's what you meant, my darling, which I'm sure it is. Cheers, man. Cheers, Tonette. Cheers, Daily Survival. Really appreciate you all being with us. Thank you. I'll tell you what I'm tempted to do is, and please go and enjoy yourself over on Discord server. Please do add your memes on there. We need memes and we need Sigma quotes as well. So any decent quotes you've got, inspiring, motivational, whatever it is, please add them on Sigma quotes. Just literally find an image of a quote somewhere that you like and just paste it in the text box there and up it pops. Job done. So please don't be shy. There's loads of other things to go over there. You've got all the SHTF Intel with the breaking news. You've got good news stories there. You've got Clown World, shortages, global conflict news. It's all going on. So if you want to catch up on things during the week, even when I'm not live, that's the place to do it. Talking of when I'm going live, the announcements room up here with the gold star. When I do a thing and I say, hey, at everyone gets a notification. So anyone who's part of that will get a notification, because clearly YouTube isn't sending any notifications out to anyone, and it certainly isn't showing me up on the ranks of stuff, even though it absolutely should do, because this is the best prepping channel there is on the whole world. So belated cheers, my darling. Hurricanes and tornadoes are awful, but droughts and heat waves, horrific effects too. I know it's a tricky one. How do you vote? Talking of which, this is the chapter in my book for surviving natural disasters, which is in part 2 of the book. You can see by the page number here, 176. So we're well into page 2, part 2. The person who anticipated the coming of troubles takes away their power when they arrive. So yes, indeed, the whole point of preparedness is when the crisis hits, you're already prepared. Their power to do you in has been removed. So this is the chapter I created for surviving natural disasters. It gives a breakdown of each natural disaster, and this is an interactive book. It's called The Ultimate Guide, or The Ultimate Prepping Guide by Sigma Prepper, and it will be released in the next several weeks. So the first natural disaster here is pandemics, and it breaks down all the disaster analysis and how to prepare for such a thing. Gives you an idea of the cascading effects and things as well. Here's the virus prediction tool advert will be in here. So there's a few pages that need to be finished off. But I mean, the sections are finished. It's just things like this. Virus prediction tool advert will go in there, right? And equally on the solar flare, natural disasters, you can just click on this one as a shortcut. Boom. Yeah. Oh, is it loading the page? I think I just messed it up because I was scrolling my scroller wheel at the same time. But yeah, solar flares. Again, there'll be the advert for the ultimate hotspot in there. So, but what I wanted to do is to have a little look at the hurricanes, and so this is the volcanic eruptions chapter, and then we've got the tsunamis. So this is number 9. So I've got 12. See, localized flooding, you see, is a big thing, which is part of, this is the problem with hurricanes and tornadoes and stuff, is that it also includes power outages. It includes, you know, hazards of bacterial kinds and things, right, with the sanitation. You've got wildfires as well. But yeah, so hurricanes and tornadoes, here we go. So what we'll do is we'll have a little look at this, even though the book's not completely nutty finished. But things like this is finished now. So hurricanes and tornadoes frequently occurring with varying degrees of severity. So I think I wrote this chapter about maybe 4 months ago now. So it'll be interesting seeing it. So let's have a look. So introduction: hurricanes, tornadoes and severe storms are powerful weather phenomena capable of causing widespread destruction. Hurricanes, also known as cyclones or typhoons in different regions, form over warm ocean waters and can bring torrential rain, high winds and storm surges. Tornadoes are violent rotating columns of air that extend from thunderstorms to the ground, capable of devastating localized areas with their intense wind speeds. Severe storms encompass a range of extreme weather, including thunderstorms, hail and lightning. So noteworthy examples here, I've got the Hurricane Katrina of 2005, everyone remembers that. One of the deadliest hurricanes in US history, causing catastrophic damage in New Orleans and surrounding areas. In another chapter of the of my book here, I mention how important it is to use previous events as ways to prepare, to understand how people survived, where people came unstuck. Yeah, survival stories and other not quite so survival stories can be very useful to sort of guide your preparations, knowing what typically goes down. In fact, part of this book is a complete grid down scenario exercise of following every day, 14 days, what happens in a grid down scenario. So by visualizing in your own situation, in your own environment, with your own family, in your own house, you can figure out what would happen in your situation and act accordingly, right? So Super Typhoon Haiyan 2013, one of the most powerful tropical cyclones ever recorded, devastating parts of Southeast Asia, particularly the Philippines. You got a Joplin tornado 2011, Tri-State tornado 1925, deadliest tornado in US history, traveling through Missouri, Illinois and Indiana. And then you got the Superstorm Sandy, which again I'm sure lots of people will remember. Massive hurricane that affected the Caribbean, the US, East Coast, causing widespread flooding and power outages. I must say I learned a lot from Hurricane Sandy and Katrina when I studied those. I was already well into prepping by about 2001, so by the time Hurricane Katrina came out, everyone was going wild. So warning time, there's one less associated with each of the natural disasters, as the pros and cons of each. So the warning times for the severe weather events vary. So hurricanes typically provide several days of warning, allowing evacuation preparations, like we're seeing obviously in Tampa, Florida, and other areas that have had plenty of time. Tornadoes often come with much shorter warnings, sometimes just minutes, making immediate action essential. Just as we saw, things like those water spouts and tornadoes can pop out of nowhere. Severe storms can be predicted hours in advance, though their exact impact can be localized and sudden. So make some slight of dodgy risk, hurricanes and tornadoes, because a real big hurricane, you do only get a few days, which isn't enough to make all sorts of preparations. A lot of us who have been preparing for many years understand how long it's taken us to get certain things in order. You're not doing that in a couple of days, going from nothing to full on. So we break into a disaster analysis here, which looks at the impact of hurricanes, tornadoes and severe thunderstorms can be devastating and multifaceted. So property damage, of course, high winds, flying debris and flooding can cause severe damage to buildings, homes and infrastructure. Power outages, storms can down power lines and damage substations, leading to widespread and prolonged blackouts. Flooding, heavy rainfall and storm surges can result in extensive flooding, damaging property and disrupting transportation. Communication disruptions. Damage to communication towers and infrastructure can hinder emergency response and coordination. You've got transportation disruptions as well, from the roads, the bridges and airports that could be damaged or flooded, impeding travel and the delivery of essential goods and stuff, don't forget. Economic impact, the cost of repairs, local loss of business and economic disruption can be substantial. And then you've got the environmental damage, where we got the storms can uproot trees, erode coastlines and destroy natural habitats. Kazza was talking about the wildlife with the animals and things as well, included in that. So casualties and injuries, a physical danger posed by these storms can lead to significant loss of life and injuries, particularly with all that debris flying around. And of course the psychological impacts, the trauma and stress of experiencing such extreme weather events can have lasting effects on mental health. I must admit, as I've been through quite a few of these, and one particular one when I was living in Thailand on a little island, me and Magic Hand actually get a little bit of PTSD when it gets really bad rain from when we had major floods and stuff. It is scary stuff because there's nothing you can do about it. Mother Nature's a powerful thing, right? So there's a few things here about how to prepare, some ideas there that are specific to it, and then a conclusion of that, and then it goes on to wildfires. So that's just a sneak peek at a few of the pages of the Ultimate Prepping Guide, which again, as I say, will be released publicly. Let's skim through. I don't want to get to the front, but it's 300 and something pages, big. So I'm still working on about the last 30 pages or so. So the Ultimate Prepping Guide by Sigma Prepper, version 3.6 is actually version 3.7 already, and it'll probably be about version 3.9 by the time it's released publicly. So a few little bits and pieces left to do on it, but it's coming along great. I've had a lot of people asking me what the progress is on it. So I've got Surviving World War III as one of the chapters that needs to be completed, and a few other little bits and pieces. But other than that, it's looking good. It's good to give you a sneak peek of what's going on with that. And of course, if you are a VIP Patreon member, depending on what tier you're on, you'll be getting that free as one of your goodies and freebies, as a way of saying thank you for supporting the channel. Good cams will be Sarasota, Englewood Beach, Venice Beach, Port Charlotte, Charlotte Harbour. I am, I can, I will, I do. Don't know what that is. I got a YouTube notification nearly 20 minutes in. Wow, yeah. Unacceptable behaviour on it is what that is. And I noticed that YouTube has a habit on this channel of chopping, once it gets to a certain number of people, it chops them off. And then it builds back up again, then chops them off. It's amazing. Yeah. Cheers, everyone. I'm watching my thing down there going red now and again as well with the stream condition. So, but I'm glad you got a Tenet. I'm glad you got a Tenet at all. I'm glad you got a notification at all, Tenet. I hope everybody's hit the like button who's here, and voted in the live poll, because it is quite tight. So we're just checking in on seeing what the windy map's showing us in terms of positioning right now. Let's check out 127. These are wind gusts, don't forget, not sustained winds. 132, so 139. And for it to be categorized in the hurricane category, this is, and I did have it confirmed with our Wolfpack there in the live chat, of what my understanding of it was, which is that the wind speeds up there are based on sustained winds, not gusts. And so what we're showing here on the windy.com map is gusts, because when we look at wind sustained, we're only really down to about 50, 70 mile an hour. I think I found here somewhere, yeah, which is not amazingly impressive. I mean, it's not nothing, but it is sustained winds. So that's constant strain on infrastructure, buildings, trees. But of course, when we get to the wind gusts and we're talking 130 mile an hour, then of course we're on a new level of destruction. And as I keep saying, it's the storm surge, and I don't know if we've got storm surge here somewhere. Like I say, this is all new on the right hand side. Well, I say new. There's wind waves and there's swell. So I'm guessing compared to anywhere else on the map, we have to assume this is part of the problem here at 5.5 meters swell, which is craziness. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what that is in foot. 15 foot or whatever swells. But I don't know if that is... I wanted to see if that is indeed... Swell 2. I'm not familiar with the swells. I'm not sure. I don't think it's the same as... Let's check out the pressure as well, actually. So it's pretty low, super low pressure. It's one of the 5th lowest pressure hurricanes, I think, or something I saw somewhere. So this is hectopascals. Usually it sits around 1,000 and 1,020, 1,018 or something like that. 1,013, is it? Considered the average air pressure, about 1,013 is down at 956, which is about the lowest you get. But I'm not seeing storm surge as a thing, but we can do... Oh, sea temperature for a start. Here we go, look, 29 degrees. So, like I say, the more time that hurricane system stays in the sea, the more it's going to be fueled by this 29 degrees sea temperature, which is just crazy. That's lovely and warm, that is. I'd love to be dipping my feet in that right now. Well, I wouldn't actually, because there's a hurricane blowing through there, but if it wasn't the case... That's real nice temperature sea. But it's definitely getting in close, and if we look at the prediction now, it does look like it's looking to go straight into the... This is what you were saying there, Chrissy, wasn't it, with the Sarasota and places like that going on. So we could see if we could find them, see if we can pull up some webcams for that area. See if we can find anything. We can have a look at downtown Tampa. A lot of these look pretty... Right, they're offline, to be honest. Not all of them, but some of them. And a lot of them have got 6-hour time lapses. I'll just show you what I'm looking at here. So this is a 6-hour time lapse. This is Anna Maria City Pier, right? But this is supposed to be the live here. The media could not be loaded, right? So a lot of these are just not rocking. Again, 6-hour time lapse, all very well, but none of the lives seem to be doing their thing. Yeah. Tampa Sky Tower West, and again, this is a 6-hour time lapse, not a live. So it's looking like it's a bit of a tricky. It's a bit tricky. And I tell you what, this one here that's supposed to be live looks like the tide's gone out, if anything. Hubbard's Marina Docks. I'm not sure how far away that is. So this is Hurricane Milton live views from around Florida. I'm not sure if this is... So, Sanibel Toll Plaza, it says, is what that one is. We're just finding more. So we'll see if we can find a couple more for you. There's one here that's down the University of Tampa riverfront webcam. Please do hit the like button if you haven't done already. We've got the standard here, it's got a couple that it reckons. That's the University of Tampa. Clearwater Pier Beach. It's definitely happening, isn't it? But they're not all Hilton, Clearwater Beach. Not looking too severe. I'm messing around with all these so you don't have to. Basically. Naples Pier Sunset Cam. Naples, Florida. Florida, so I'm not saying it right. We got this one here. Live beach cam. So there's people out there doing stuff. Hollywood Beach, Broadwalk, Florida. Broadwalk live camera. This is obviously far enough away to not be affected as much. We'll see what other ones we've got. Left me in the house. Great to see you, my darling. My father was in Sarasota. Did absolutely nothing to prepare. Oh dear. Not representing at all. Left me at all. Yeah? But great to see you, my darling. Missed you. Yeah? Clearwater Pier is one of my favourite places to visit. Purple Flurple's in the house as well. Hello, my fellow preps. Currently watching Milton on various cams and Storm Chaser Brandon Kopic. Fort Myers getting some surges. Go to LSE live stream events, live webcams. Thanks, my darling. Hold on. Sorry, just figuring out, catching up with people in the chat. There's a reason why we're estranged. Clearly, that's me. It's so lovely to see you, though. I'm so glad you're around. Hold on. I'm not getting anything on the... So many of these are not working. So I'm just rooting through the ones that are and the ones that aren't. I think we saw one for Clearwater Pier, didn't we, Robert? But there's a couple around, but like I say, a lot of them are either offline or struggling. Which is annoying. But some of these aren't looking too bad, to be honest. There'll be a couple, like Plymouth Harbour, Sarasota, yeah. I think there's probably so many people watching, yeah. So this is Sarasota, Plymouth Harbour. Look, all them boats bunched up, look. But you see what I mean? We just got spinning Bidney, yeah. This is what a time lapse looked like for 6 hours, though. The last 6 hours, or a 6 hours of some kind. So yeah, it's not really... Oh, here we go. We're rocking that. Oh, it stopped again. I mean, as power starts going down different places, there'll be less, it'll be less reliable internet. So yeah, it's definitely going on. It's definitely going on. Windy seems to be still thinking it's Lich touching down nearly now to the coast, which is here. I think it's, yeah, see out here we're talking 130 mile an hour, but it's about the highest I can find, so it's definitely starting to fade out a bit, which it should do as it gets nearer to the coast, unless it starts going north. But it seems to think it's just going to go whoomp. Now, there was talk of it going out the other side. Yeah. So we're here. Going out the other side. And then going off across the Atlantic, across the pond. Right? And then building into something. You see here? It goes into the UK. But I'm not buying it. Once it goes past Florida, look, it just completely. Bleh. This is the predicted outcome. Don't forget that I'm scanning through here. 2 pups in 4 months has been a lot. Have you got a new pup? Things winding up with court on 24th, and I had to put another. Oh, my darling, one thing after another. I'm so sorry, my darling. Oh dear. Clearwater Pier is north of Sarasota. Okay. Yeah, but that's the one where they were all playing out, wasn't it, Robert? Nah. I'm just looking at a couple more here. Riverview. Tampa Sky Tower. So many of them are all down. I think it's more than likely so many people logged in trying to view the footage of them. Will be more than anything. But yeah, so very sorry my darling loves me. I can't believe that's another one. Not that new one, I hope. The new doggy you got. What's the down detector saying over there? Good question. Let's ask it. I'm using a different browser today, which isn't helpful. It wouldn't show that kind of stuff up though, but it will have some bits and pieces on there. So down detector shows you the stuff that's basically down. So you can see Discord's having some ish. Roblox is having, Minecraft is having some ish, so kids are going to be screaming their heads off. And adults. Google's having some ish, look. So there's a few ish going on, but YouTube's like had a little bit of ish recently. Maybe this is why I'm seeing my thing going red all the time. But yeah, other than that, it's not looking too severe. But we're gonna be wrapping it up anyway, because I've got to take Hugo Bear out for a walk in the woods. Talking of doggies, like I say, please get yourself joined up on Discord if it's working well where you are, which it should be. So we've also got our live poll we need to do, so we need to draw the conclusion from that. So let's do that now then and check out what the results were. And it was pretty close. Pretty close. I'll do a screenshot of the lasting results of our live poll tonight. So let's end the poll. So final results. and we'll just paste that in there. Boom. So here we go. Question was, which natural disaster scares you more? Either hurricanes and tornadoes, epic solar flares, or heat waves and droughts. And the winner is, winner is hurricanes and tornadoes, 43%. Followed by epic solar flares. Of course, that sent us back to the Stone Age. But hurricanes and tornadoes, yeah, your house being destroyed, your animals being at risk, just everything, the flooding, the sewage being all up everywhere, just nasty. We don't like it. So well voted, everyone. Thank you, everyone. No, thank God we got her. My 10-year-old black lab. Oh, my darling, best dog I've ever had. Thanks all. Love to you, my darling. Big hugs to you. Super long, tight, squeezy hugs. Meaningful hug vibes going out to you, my darling. We're all animal lovers here on the Sigma Prepper Show, so thank you. I think Hollywood is on the East Coast. Yeah, I did see that pop up. Another one of them isn't working. Purple Flurple's JD's not been particularly well recently. Ryan Hall, weatherman, says Englewood and Port Charlotte area will have the largest water rise storm surge. Yeah, they were talking like 12, 15 feet, which is like above the first floor. So imagine that. There's no getting around that. That's craziness. Oh dear. So I'll be looking to come back and do another update tomorrow on the Sigma Prepper channel. So that is the idea. To be doing more regular videos. I'm also in the background, obviously, now I've finished making the intro and break time tunes and writing all that and everything. Now that's out of the way, I can get back to getting these last few chapters of my ultimate prepping guide of the book finished off and written. So look out for that. That'll be on the survival gear page and of course promoted along with and I'm going to change these names, by the way. I've decided, like, this is like page 4 of 300 and something, right? You see at the top there, this version's got 300 pages. I think it'll be about 330 when it's finished. But these names here, I've decided I'm going to change, and I am only just going to have the names of the Patreon VIPs that actually exist, which isn't all of these. So I just think that's the only way I can make it fair. So that's basically the idea with that. But anyway, so look out for that. That'll be rocking in the next couple of weeks once I've got these last few chapters finished. The Ultimate Prepping Guide by Sigma Prepper. It will be the ultimate prepping guide on the entire planet, as far as I'm concerned, and anyone else who's seen it so far. Hugo, give Hugo a big kiss from Auntie Kaza. Absolutely, my darling. Thanks, Sigma. Great information. Thank you for joining us, my darling. It was nice to catch up. Love going out to Lasme again. Love going out to our darling Debbie as well, who's over in Mexico on holiday. So let's hope she gets out of there without too much disruption to all the flights and things, as Hurricane Milton has passed through Mexico on the way to Florida. So I'll keep my eye on it. If there's anything major happens, obviously I'm finished all my bits and pieces to get the stream set up the way I need it now, so I'm in a much better position to go live as and when I need to. So hit the like button, guys. Thank you today. Great to have you with us the entire time. I think you've been here, haven't you? So it's great to see you. Thank you, everyone. Cheers, Robert. Great to see you as well, my man. And don't forget, I'm going to be doing an after party over on a Discord server. I'm going to be taking Hugo Bear out for a midnight walk because he hasn't been out today, and he only had a very short one yesterday as well. So in the meantime, thank you very much, everybody. I've been Sigma Prepper. Oh, look at Lasme in the house with the Streamlabs. What an absolute babe. Thank you so much. You've got no idea how well needed and appreciated that is, Lasme, especially as one of our VIP patrons as well. Gonna make me cry, my darling. So, oh, Debbie's still there. I was just talking about you, Debbie. I didn't know if you were still there or not. I was just saying about you hopefully getting out of there on Friday back to the UK. But thank you so much to Lasme. Really appreciate you, my darling, and hopefully you can join us over on the after party. It'd be great to catch up with you and see what's been going on if you're feeling up to it, and I understand if not. But we're way overdue a catch up as well, Lasme. Let me know if you're still using the same WhatsApp because the last WhatsApp message I sent you stayed on 1 grey tick. So it hasn't even got to your end for some reason. But thank you, everybody, for being with us. What a great way to close the show off, Laughs Me. So tonight's show by Signal Prepper was officially sponsored by Laughs Me. So please hit the like button. I've been Drew, the Signal Prepper. You've been absolutely brilliant. Love, peace, and progress. To the pack.